Stand by. Roll camera. And action.
We're here in Miami, and I'm talking to Daniel Benitez from Bardan Cinema. And while you kind of are a traditional system integrator, you're in a very unique market. Now, the days of a movie projector showing actual movie film in theaters is past, I think, and it's being replaced by digital projection. How does that affect you, what you do, and the role of secure power in that context?
Well, it is a new sort of challenge in cinema these days. We've become very accustomed to dealing with mechanical equipment, and the way that you must protect electronic equipment is very different. We've worked very closely with our customers throughout the region to see what it means to be in a digital age. To protect the sensitive electronics and to ensure the quality of the projection, we've partnered with APC to really make sure that not only the life of the equipment is protected, but the quality of the experience for their clients. We work mostly in Latin America, and the power there is particularly susceptible to fluctuation. So there is obviously the big difference, the big issue of losing power, where you lose a showing, there's no way to give the customers their experience. But then there's the greater issue, in fact, of protecting this equipment. It's much more sensitive or much more delicate than mechanical projection equipment. And these small fluctuations in power over time can damage a lot of these components. Getting replacement parts in Latin America is very difficult, and we have much more downtime because of that. So we've seen very clearly the importance of having good power conditioning and good battery backups in the industry.
So you have obviously the mechanical issues, as you say, of surges and sags and outright blackouts, but there are also some compliance issues as far as dealing with your customers.
Yes, indeed. There are many industry standards that need to be maintained, and beyond that, much of the conversion to digital equipment in Latin America has occurred because of an incentive program by the Hollywood studios. These studios have strict requirements about how often things need to be played, what the quality of the equipment has to be, how that equipment is protected and monitored. We in fact opened a sister company to do remote monitoring all these equipments. This is part of the requirement for this. Part of what we like about the APC products is how much information is available to us remotely through the web interface. We can produce a lot of reports for our clients about their power consumption, about the quality of power coming to their equipment, the reliability that they can expect from their companies. We've had many of them, in fact, go back to their power companies and speak to them about this. And much of this is rooted in those requirements from the studios.
So when you're making your case and you're in the process of trying to convince the customer of the validity of this, who are you talking to typically within the organizations?
We have a bit of a two-pronged conversation. One of them is obviously with the people who make purchasing decisions. We talk to them about the ROI, about what sort of insurance you're buying with this for the equipment that you've spent so much money on. Those people need to be convinced at the dollar level, and I think that we have a very compelling argument for that. Some of the people, not our customers, but people who've worked with other groups that we're aware of, have had a lot of problems with equipment failures, with damaged equipment because of these power fluctuations, and they've ended up spending a great deal of money replacing this equipment, especially because a lot of the manufacturers do recommend having solid battery backups for these. So once you see a failure or two, you have a very strong argument in terms of the financial side of things. The other side is, of course, the technical side. We speak to many of the head technicians. We explain to them a lot of the benefits that we can provide, for example, the remote monitoring and things of that nature. And I think they are even easier to convince.
You mentioned the remote monitoring. I mean, what kind of information are you getting from the system, and is that facilitated basically by having the secure power equipment installed in those situations?
It is greatly. We monitor the equipment across the board when it comes to movie theater hardware, but the information we get specifically from the UPS is extremely valuable. The feedback, as I said, many of our customers have gone back to their power companies with some of this data and spoken to them about what they need. They, within themselves, can see how much they've been consuming. one of the things that we also are very happy about is being able to give them health data on the battery itself when it needs to be replaced, things of that nature.
What's been your experience working with Schneider?
Oh, it's been fantastic. We have always gotten a lot of support from them. In fact, again, it's one of the crucial things that we get as a value add is the ability to monitor the equipment and get that valuable data to give back to our customers. And Schneider has been extremely cooperative with us, even in offering us modifications to those systems. You know, they've listened very closely when we've said, well, we could also use this information or that information, and it's been a great pleasure to work with Schneider.
All right, thank you, Daniel.
No, thank you.